For nearly a quarter century, Dr. Patty Quinlisk served as Iowa's epidemiologist. She tracked the latest disease outbreaks and concerns. Now, 3 years ago, she launched a new purpose, and she now works with the YMCA to hold in-person and Zoom classes so Iowans can find out ways to lower their risk for dementia. For her, it's personal.
My mother got diagnosed with dementia 5-10 years ago, and I actually had a grandfather who died of what we then called senility, which of course we now know as dementia. So it's on both sides of my family, and so I got interested in it, and to be honest, at first it's just what I can do to decrease my risk of getting dementia, and then I started realizing, well, there's a lot you can do, and I need to spread the message.
And so, and you started, I remember talking to you about this when you were still epidemiologist, right. And it was something you were kind of noodling on the side here. As you got into it, now that you had more time to do that, what have you learned about it that you didn't know going into this?
Well, I'll just say the science keeps on changing. When we first started, we knew about, eating healthy, being active, etc., but really didn't hear anything about how important having good hearing was. And now there's studies showing that there's about probably about 9% of the people in our communities that have dementia have it because their hearing is so bad. And their hearing causes their brain just not to be stimulated, them to lose social contacts, etc., and their brain starts going into dementia. So the science is changing, and we're finding that there's more and more we can do to decrease our risk. There's no guarantee, of course, but there's more and more you can do. And the thing that I personally like is that regardless of what your genetics are, by doing these things, you can actually decrease your risk maybe by 70 or 75%, even if you have the genes that predispose you to dementia.
And that's probably, would you agree, maybe one of the things that's changed the most here recently, because obviously growing up, it's frightening when you know Dad and Grandpa had it, and that scares me that I'm going to get it. Now that you know that hearing perhaps has something to do with that, your diet, even exercise, right?
Yeah, there's sort of the big four. Eating a good quality diet, which is basically, we sort of laugh, it's the Mediterranean diet with some blueberries. And then being active, and that can be as little as walking, 15 minutes, 20 minutes a day can decrease your risk of dementia. But then there's other things that people may not think about. One of the things that seems to be very important is staying social. And I'll just tell you, I think that was very important when my mother was sequestered because of COVID. Boy, her dementia really progressed much more rapidly. And then staying sharp, using your brain. It's sort of like they say with your muscles, if you don't use it, you lose it. Same thing with your brain. You got to keep on using your brain. But there's other things. We have a geriatric pharmacist that works with us. Believe it or not, there's some drugs out there that those of us who are of a certain age should just not take anymore. And we've had several quite amazing turnarounds in people in our class who have stopped taking these drugs.
And the drugs that were specifically geared toward that, or for other things?
No, over-the-counter drugs. Probably one of the biggest ones is called Benadryl. It's a drug that you can buy just over the counter. It's pretty good for allergies and stuff, but a lot of older people start using it for sleep, like Tylenol PM and Excedrin PM. Those are all with Tylenol. Tylenol actually basically starts slowing your brain down. And if you're young, it doesn't make much difference. But if you're 70 years of age, that can be pretty significant.
And that can be tough because as you get older, many people have some kind of issues with sleep.
And sleep is very important to keep your brain healthy too, but our pharmacists will come in and say, these are the drugs you should take. Don't take those. These are much better on your brain. They don't stop your brain from working as well. They're still good. And so, for example, melatonin is the one that she suggests for sleep.
And that's more natural.
More natural. Our brains make melatonin naturally just to get us to sleep, and so that's the one that she recommends you try first of all.
You mentioned the isolationism that your mom had to deal with, and obviously so many people had to deal with that. What do you think we're going to learn as we move forward and really people start looking back at this period, whatever it is, where we dealt with COVID?
Well, I've heard some neuroscientists, brain specialists, say that they're very concerned that in the next 10 years, because of the isolation and because of COVID itself, we may see an epidemic of dementia. because of just the repercussions from what we've been going through for the last couple years.
So what do you recommend right now? What should we do? So we've dealt with this for a year and a half now, probably a little bit more than that.
Right.
What should we do today?
Well, if we're talking about COVID, first thing, get vaccinated, because if COVID really increases your risk of getting dementia, which again, the science is suggesting it does, boy, let's keep ourselves from getting COVID so we don't then have that risk of dementia. But when you start talking about things like socialization, there's still things you can do. You can get on the telephone, you can get on Zoom, you can meet people outdoors, you can go for walks with friends. There's a lot of things you can do. It just takes more effort, which I agree is hard, but you can still do it.
What is your profession dealing with? You know, there's a lot of stuff out there on the internet that's been shared like we've never seen before. And, you know, you can find any conspiracy under the sun about, because they don't believe in COVID, or maybe they don't believe in, especially don't believe in the vaccines, that there are other ways, a dewormer or whatever they think will work better. What's the impact of that going forward on the medical community?
Well, I think there's a lot of people out there that are frightened by COVID. I mean, this is scary, right? I mean, I understand that. People are getting tired. I'm tired of being indoors. But what I would tell people to do is go and talk to reputable sources. If you're concerned about what you should do the vaccine, go talk to your doctor or your nurse. They have your health, you know, forefront, and what they want for you is for you to be healthy. So they're reliable sources. You know, don't rely on your cousin's second friend who lives, no, that person may not know anything. So just go to reliable sources to get your information. Try to make an educated, informed decision about some of these things.
Now, she believes in the value of the COVID-19 vaccines, but what about natural immunity to protect us? She answers that next.